Hello to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the world of Elin. Today I want to talk about food and basically how cooking can help you increase, all the stats of your character and develop it however you please. Generally speaking, I think that the system is just absolutely amazing in a sense that I have a bit of a comparison between this and, let's say, Valheim, where you're a mighty Viking as long as you eat a sausage, but unfortunately this sausage attribute bonus expires after a certain amount of time, and you're back to being a weakling that can be killed by a little death skeeto, right? Well, not in this game. In this game it works in such a way that when you eat food that has specific attribute bonuses, you actually get nice permanent bonuses. It basically provides you an experience for a specific attribute, right? So let's look at the humbleberry here, for instance, right? As you can see, it has this different traits attached to it, and two of them are like eye-catching and glossy, right? A berry is a great example because it technically gives you two traits relating to the same attribute, but they work in a little bit of a different way. In a sense that the eye-catching, so the charisma additive, it literally gives you charisma experience, right? So as long as you eat, let's say, those berries for a whole year straight, you will keep leveling your charisma. Also, there is another thing in which works like slightly differently, and this is charisma potency. In order to understand this, we need to understand how attributes work in this game. So as you can see, there is an actual value that relates to, let's say, strength. It relates to, let's say, damage you deal with melee weapons, specifically the ones that are sort of indicated, like, hey, long swords are related, the third road here, to strength, right? So this is the actual value I believe that is used in the game. The potency itself is technically not used to, let's say, a combat calculation, but it's used to something else. It is sort of a multiplier of the experience you get. So I don't unfortunately know the exact mechanics in a sense, well, not mechanics, but exact formula behind the whole calculation. And I do think as time passes we will probably get a little bit more access to it, but I just couldn't find it. But it is very simple in a sense that let's say you do an activity correlating to strength, right? You get 5 experience points in strength. You cannot quite see it, unfortunately. Like you can see, for instance, in longsword, like you can see what happens behind the decimal place. You can't quite see it in strength regards, or like any attributes, but it is still out there. The point being, as you basically get this 5 experience points, for instance, when you get like, let's say, 100 potential bonus, when you say, let's say, have 200 potential bonus, you actually get 10 experience doing the very same activity, right? So, long story short, you want to, like, when you want to develop, let's say, a specific attribute, you basically just want to eat food that has high bonus in regards to, let's say, strength and high potency of strength. Not only that, but also something that has a relatively high nutrition value. That is because, let's say that this berry gives you free charisma experience. The nutrition serves a little bit like a multiplier of this value when you sort of get the bonuses. It is quite difficult to see it on the actual attributes, but it is relatively easier to see on a potential bonus because it's like as soon as you eat something, it's instantly shown how it increases. So let's look at our humbleberry yet again. Let's make our roasted fruit here. So as you can see, the berry itself has only 8 nutrition. The roasted fruit has 12, right? So let's make this. Just bear in mind this little number here. So charisma potential is 88 at the moment, right? We eat that, and as we can see, it increased but slightly. So it's 89 at the very moment, right? Most likely, if we eat just like let's actually do a very little test here. Let's check out those berries, and now we're gonna eat one berry. And did anything increase? It did increase a little bit, right? So because the value is relatively close to each other, it doesn't quite matter in this specific regard. But point being is that you can not only increase the nutrition values, you can also increase those bonuses, and you can increase them quite significantly, right? So if you are like playing this game like a dungeon crawler, you just go to dungeons, you come back, you go to the city, you buy things. You just want to buy like the things with the highest bonuses. But if you're a little bit more into developing your base, or you just want to spend a little bit more time now developing your base, now you did all the dungeon crawling, there is a great way of increasing your stats. And how do you do that? Well, Now you have those mushrooms, for instance, here that are all level 0. You can gather them up, and you might notice that every now and then they would level up. And basically, what it does, it not only increases their value slightly, but it also provides them those little traits. So as you see, these did not level up, and they still have no traits, which is actually quite good because we can plant them once again and hope that the trait, for instance, we want will show up. But for now, we got a willpower, we got mage potency, we got charisma potency, and also wheel potency yet again. But also there is a common quality, and this one is only sort of related to the price, so it's not that important for us at the very moment. The point is that, for instance, if you are interested, let's say as a mage, only in those mage potency seeds, you want to use those seeds. You want to discard the other ones that are not related to mage potency seeds, and all the other ones that are related will also have this trait on it, just it will be higher, right? So in here, I already made a little patch that basically relates all to strength. This one, if I remember well, relates to perception potency, and this one to willpower. So as you can see, if we just get those little mushrooms here, they will all have this trait related to strength. And this is one I wanted, right? Because I want to be a mighty warrior and I want to have a highest strength possible. So let's just gather a few more. Also, let me explain this one little thing. So generally, when you, let's say, speak about most crops, so for instance, our little humble berry from the previous videos, whenever you harvest the crops, you will always get berries. The traits will be different, but they will always be berries. Mushrooms are a bit unique in the sense that there is few outcomes you can get out of basically just cultivating them. So usually you would get like the just common mushroom, but you can also get a white mushroom, also a red mushroom, a truffle, and also a very rare mushroom called, very uniquely, a rare mushroom. So these are a little bit different in the sense that they have, let's say that the common mushroom has eye-catching and pleasant smell, and they will always have it, no matter what this trait we rolled here is, right? So let's say we got a mushroom here, it's also pleasant smell and eye-catching, but previously I rolled it in perception potency, right? And it will remain here, and those will remain to the common mushroom. But as I basically harvest these, and for instance I get a truffle, it will have a strength bonus, because that's what they usually have, and also a learning experience, right? But let's focus on the ones that have to do with strength, right? We want to make basically food that has a very high strength bonus. Of course, we can eat this raw, and it will provide us still a little bit of a strength bonus. But what we really want to do is we want to cook it. And why is it so? Because once you add basically all the mushrooms with strength potency, right? Let's another one, and why not add yet another one? As you can see, this number here, the strength potency increases, right? It is tarnished, by the way, because if you don't have, it sort of relates to all the sort of other things you can create in the game. If your skill is not high enough, it will always be tarnished, which will decrease the overall quality of the item, and thus the price. But yeah, more ingredients you add to a recipe, the more nutrition value it will have, and it will also multiply, well, not really multiply, but it will also like add in some degree some of those bonuses, right? Also, let's say, I think I have one marble made, yeah. So we can add even more things to this one single dish and also increase the nutrition value quite significantly, right? Also, if you are cooking and you don't have enough of a skill, like I don't have here, there is also a chance that you will destroy the dish and you will just lose all those bonuses. You don't want to eat that, by the way. You can, by the way, also decrease all the values of your attributes through eating really garbage food, by the way. Just, you know, a thing probably worth remembering every now and then. But yeah, let's try it again, and let's hope for the best. Maybe this time we'll be able to actually cook something without burning everything in a cauldron. And yeah, we did succeed this time around, didn't we? So as you can see, we got this amazing stewed mushroom, and it has 15 strength potency. So now have a little look at this. Like at the very moment, our base, our potential for our strength is 131. As we eat that, which has a much higher bonus than the previous berry we sort of showed, not only it gives us instantly a notification that the potential of your strength increased, but also it is very much visible in here because it's already 147. So that means that the multiplier increased quite significantly. The interesting thing about this specifically is that as you eat food and it has high nutrition, you will be filled, right? You usually kind of want that because you don't want to starve. But I believe that there is a way to abuse this mechanic a little bit, in a sense that as you eat, you cannot really eat anymore if you are like bloated, right? But there is a way to reset it by basically just drinking lots of alcohol. You can ignore kind of those little bonuses I have here because they're all related to the fact that I'm a heel folk, which has this racial bonus of basically just being somewhat stronger when you are drunk. But that's not the point. What we actually wanted to get here, we wanted to get absolutely wasted, and this is because when you get wasted, you actually can every now and then, and it will probably happen eventually. Oh, it did. You see, yeah. So you can, imagine or not, expel some food from your system, right? And as you do it, you're hungry again, which means that you can eat again, and in turn, it will basically give you again the bonuses of yet another meal, right? So as you get a bit industrialized and you can create lots of alcohol and you can create lots of food, you can literally just without wasting a lot of time add more bonuses and more stats to yourself. So you see, now it's 164, right? Strength, potential strength bonus. So I think that this can be nicely abused in the sense that I don't think it's necessarily an exploit because I would love for this mechanic to stay. You can virtually just stay in your base and just like make make an absolute unit of a character just by eating like lots of mushrooms and drinking. I do think that it's peak fantasy, but yeah, I would love to hear like your thoughts on this. But yeah, the point being, so not only you can increase your character attributes, your potential bonuses by food, but you can also cultivate the types of food you want, right? And you can basically just like keep eating it to increase those bonuses and eventually even the stats themselves, right? So that's what I wanted to say. Also, one interesting thing, one of the viewers mentioned, I think his name was, or her name was, Perfect Dev 4, right? That there is a really good way of making money early on, and I must agree because it is really excellent. The idea is that you get mushrooms and you utilize them as a bait for fishing, and basically as you do that, you obviously get fish, which makes sense. Oh, by the way, a little also side note: you don't have to sort of either keep playing music or just click all the fish that you sort of managed to fish out. You can just automate it by pressing strategy here and choosing your preference. So let's just get a fish just to show how the whole system works. Did we get a fish? Did we get it? We got it. Okay, perfect. But you see, this is not the whole thing. We don't want to sell this fish. What we want to do, we want to use a sew, and we want to make it into a handful of bonito flakes. Those are really great because out of one fish you can get, I think, from 4 to 5 of those bonito flakes, and these, just like a berry, can be basically used to make wine, and it's like costs more or less the same amount of money as berry wine. So it is not a thing that you can technically automate too much. What I did, and I tried to, and I thought like, oh, maybe this is the way how NPCs can be used, in a sense that some of them can be doing fishing, right? And it is quite a high efficiency of this, so like 93% per one character, right? So you have few of them, you can basically automate like a lot of fishes coming into your base, and every now and then when you come over, you can just like grab a container, grab your little fish, use a saw on it, put it in the barrel, and yeah, it just works really well. So yeah, that's another thing, and also what else? Yeah, I think that's more or less all I wanted to say. Oh no, there is one more thing that I found that I'm surprised I haven't realized it before. But in a previous video, I mentioned that there is a way to sort of find an aphrodisiac trait in some of the bakeries across the land. Only now I sort of realized you can actually make the same very food yourself, and this is basically the way. Let's just make a humble vegetable soup. So if you have a love potion in your equipment, you can middle mouse button it, and you can blend it with basically any food. And as you blend it, it basically gonna get this aphrodisiac trait. You might not be able to see it normally because you do need this gorment trait to reveal those blue traits, but it basically is sort of like hidden in a sense that, the love potion, you sort of need to throw it at your target, and this gets you into the combat. But because it's in the food now, you're not in combat with the character you sort of want to increase your affinity with. And for instance, our girl here, Momoko, the little girl, she likes food, right? So she's a really good target to test basically anything. And as you can see, this one has an aphrodisiac trait, and she will just accept it without any sort of problems. And not only she likes us because we gave her a gift she likes, but also every now and then those NPCs have this little animation basically showing that they eat food they have. And this is when the bonus from like the love potion will also increase. We can still sort of see that she didn't eat it just yet, but she has it in her equipment, and basically she will eat it eventually, and it's gonna help. Oh, by the way, sort of like not sure how you can use it because it can only be technically used with the NPCs you own because they're like already in your base. But look at this. We can literally just take this item from her. We do lose a little bit of karma because they want this item, right? Like you can basically, this is also the way how you can exchange all the equipment. You can just press it multiple times and they will just give it away, but it will cost you karma. There is also a way that you can just give them a better equipment and they will just leave the poor equipment that you can take for free then. But the point is, in here specifically, that if we just tell her to wait, we took this food away from her, our karma decreased, right? But our affinity with her did not. So we can give her the very same gift yet again, and our affinity is gonna increase, right? So yeah, there is a little mechanic that you can use to your advantage at some point. Not really sure how to use it creatively though. But yeah, that's basically everything I want to talk about today. I hope that it's gonna help you a little bit in regards to playing the game. And thank you very much. Have a good one. Until next time.